Shalom, all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Harakakadash, the ones that elder apostles of great most and rule well, and Shalom to the brothers doing work, Syrian truth, push his word to the four corners. Shalom. I just saw this and it really is, a mark of how clear it is, all these prophecies are coming to a fullness. Because on Study Finds, it says what doomsday believers no longer fringe. Studies suggest they're a third of America. And the joke of it is yeah, there was a period of time where, if you're saying, oh, it's the end times, it would be like, especially I remember in the 90s, there was a lot of movies where you would have the doomsday prophet where it would have like the fit, he would wear like the board over his chest, over his outfit, where it have like a big plaque on the front, and it'll say like the end is nigh or whatever. And that was something, you just kind of laugh at. People, oh, whatever, man. It's like, they were like, oh, the Cold War's over, technology's developing, blah, blah, blah. They'll think all these things mean they're in good case. And that's the thing is there was an extension basically put on this place where, things needed to be developed, certain technologies, because as far as for now, it's plain. Like a lot of those technologies, you can see they're coming to fullness now. So this is what doomsday believers no longer fringe. Studies suggest that a third of America. Um, where did it? Huh? The hell was that? Okay. So it says from climate change to the rise of AI to the rapture, more adults think we're currently living in end times. It says that between 29% and 39% of Americans believe that they are currently living in the end times. This is not a fringe position held by a handful of doomsday cults. It cuts across evangelical congregations, climate activist circles, Silicon Valley boardrooms. And it's funny because tech always comes in to these things. The way it's funny, you listen to these tech CEOs, especially like these AI CEOs, the way they're talking is like they're trying to be like, oh, we're gonna ascend humanity to, they're basically trying to talk up, like they're utilizing that technology to ascend to godhood. And then it's something where they're saying, as far as the state of the world, the state the world's in, they can bring in salvation. And that's how a lot of people are looking at. Because the thing is, as well, is that technology to a lot of people is on that level where they're deifying it. This is what, and according to a new study, it may be one of the most consequential and least examined forces in how the public responds to the biggest threats facing the planet. Psychologists at the University of British Columbia and the University of California, Irvine, surveyed more than 1,400 religiously diverse Americans. Funny, 1-4. Should have got extra 40. And found that apocalyptic thinking is neither a fringe preoccupation nor a purely spiritual abstraction. It is a measurable psychological force, and that specific flavor of someone's end of world beliefs predicts how they perceive and respond to threats like climate change, nuclear war, economic collapse, and artificial intelligence with surprising consistency. Study led by psychologist Matthew Billett, co-authored by Sindel White, Azim Sharif, and R.R. Nurin Zion, is among the first to build a formal framework around end-of-world beliefs as a psychological construct. Its findings complicate the familiar story that risk behavior is primarily a matter of politics or religion. So let me go to the shortened thingy. Let's see, in a nutshell. A broader national beliefs turn out to be strong objects. Apocalypse belief is not one thing. Researchers identify 5 distinct dimensions, including who or what people believe will cause the end, how soon they expect it, and whether they view it as something to dread or welcome. That's funny as hell, because yeah, was it Amos 5 and 18? Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. What end is it for you? And there's a lot of people where they might be thinking, oh yeah, the rapture. I can't wait for the rapture. There can be no rapture, dog. There gonna be no rapture, pal. Says the specific flavor of someone's end of world belief matters enormously. People blame human actual action for eventual catastrophe, perceive current threats as more urgent, while those who believe God controls the end times are significantly less likely to support extreme action to address them. A puzzle the researchers could not fully explain. People who believe the apocalypse will be a good thing still tended to support drastic measures to present existential threats. So yeah, it's funny. It's become a lot more of a regular degular belief to just be thinking, oh, the end's coming, the end is nigh, which is real funny. Actually, funny as hell. It's kind of crazy because it really does just show how everything's just been turned up. The dial's been turned. Iran and the US are currently at war. As far as the financial situation's been, there's been back-to-back crises from like 2020 onwards, and there's no, like, the people were like, oh, you voting Trump, price of your eggs going up. Now they're going to the as the Americans call it, the gas pump. Over here we call it a petrol station. Going down to the petrol station, the fucking price is ticking up and up. People aren't having kids because life is so on top. All these jobs that the younger generation are meant to be getting, now they're saying it's going to AI. The AI is grabbing it up. All these different things swirling together. Your average Joe is thinking like, damn, this has got to be the end. Like, what the fuck else can explain this? And that's really the funny part. It's so fucked up on a baseline level that you really just had to be thinking like, what the hell else could it be? Fucking hell. Yeah, they're going into full on the whole study. You can check it. Specific beliefs that rise the difference. I'll read this. 2 Esdras 9 and 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And yeah, it's the time where the highest is beginning to visit the world that he made. And there's precursors, there's signs, there's things there that you can basically look to and be like, oh, okay, that's how we know these times are about. The thing is because these things are so dire. Just it would have been the same in ancient Rome, would have been the same in the Kingdom of Israel, would have been the same in Greece. They would have been like, damn, there's so much fuckery happening, or there's so many things. God, like, how can this system even continue to go on? Funny as hell. True as fuck. Huh. True as fuck, innit? Yeah. But yeah, and to visit the world which you made. But yeah, no, leave it there. Shalom. Shalom.